Hello everyone, my name is Paula and the story that I'm going to be reviewing today is Pet Milk by Stuart Dybek. So just a quick little plot analysis. Stuart Dybek's Pet Milk is a story that explores the fleeting nature of time through fragmented memories of a narrator. The narrative begins with the main character recalling the sight of Pet Milk swirling in his grandmother's coffee. And this memory opens the door to reflections of his childhood, family traditions, and youthful romance, like constantly listening to the radio in a foreign station and not in English, and other examples. The narrator shifts from family memories to his passionate relationship with a young woman named Kate. Their connection is defined by intimacy and the vibrancy of youth, captured vividly during train rides and shared moments in a restaurant over a specific drink. The kiss they share, flavored by the liquor, I think encapsulates the relationship perfectly. It's sweet, sensual, and ephemeral. The story's emotional climax lies in the restaurant scene, where the intensity of their bond is intertwined by the bittersweet awareness of its impermanence. The recurring image of swirling milk reinforces the story's central theme, the transient yet interconnected nature of life's moments. Rather than providing a traditional resolution, the author leaves the readers with a sense of acceptance. Pet Milk is less about events and more about the emotional resonance of ordinary experiences. Through its vivid sensory details and reflections on memory, I think the story becomes just a reflection on the beauty and the impermanence of life. Moving on to some themes that I saw present in the story, we have nostalgia and memory. This is a pretty big one. The story is practically steeped in nostalgia, with the narrator reminiscing about his grandmother's use of Pet Milk, a brand of evaporated milk. And it talks about how that memory connects him to broader experiences of his youth. The milk is described as creating a swirling galaxy, and it becomes a metaphor for the way memories blend and swirl together. The narrative flows effortlessly between the past and the present, underscoring the idea that memory is nonlinear and deeply tied to sensory triggers. Love and impermanence is also a big theme throughout the story, to me personally. The central relationship between the narrator and Kate, marked by youthful passion, is tinged with an awareness of how short it is, or how non-permanent it might be. The romance is intense but fleeting, symbolizing the bittersweet nature of young love and life itself. The moment in the restaurant when they drink their special drink and share a kiss, it is full of intimacy, yet underscored by the inevitability of time passing. And that leads me to my third theme, which is the passage of time. So the story kind of puts the narrator's memories of his grandma and of Kate against each other, showing his different layers or the different times in his life. There's a sense of longing for the simplicity and the comfort of the past, while at the same time celebrating the intensity of the present. The tension highlights the transient nature of moments and relationships. Now, onto my review of the story. I loved this short story. It was my favorite one of the entire semester because it was different than the other stories. I think this short story is written about just young, ephemeral love and how the passage of time might be a huge factor, but at the same time, if you live in the present, the constant fear of the future is just gonna hold you down. We can see this throughout the entire story and how the narrator is constantly focusing on things from his past to bring him comfort, like the pet milk. He looks at it in the opening scene in his grandma's coffee, and he looks for it every time he goes to the diner with Kate, his partner, and it comes up again when he talks about being imposters when they're dressed in their work clothes. You're not an imposter, you're just growing up. It's a part of life. And also, I think it highlights how youth, and your youth is just a time to embrace love, passion, and these fleeting moments without fear of what lies ahead. The author also does a pretty good job of jumping back and forth between the narrator's memories with his grandma and the memories he's currently making with Kate. And I think that's a very interesting writing style, but I personally liked it because it made me think more about the story and really engage with it so that I could understand it fully. But overall, I just think it's a very good read, and I think it can make you think a lot about where you're currently standing, not only when it comes to love and relationships, but your life in general. If you're constantly looking for comfort, you're never going to grow, you're never going to develop. And I think the narrator is stuck in that. He looks for things of his past so that he can be comfortable while planning a future that he does not know what holds, and that's what's scaring him. You can also see it when he describes his fascination for looking at his partner's reflection. He thinks she looks so pretty in a window, in a mirror, and other reflective surfaces. And I feel like it highlights how he likes to look at an image of her instead of seeing what's right in front of him. He has his girlfriend sitting right in front, yet he looks at her through a reflection. And I think that also shows how scared he is of the future within the relationship and how uncertain life is and how fast it might go by. Once again, I just want to wrap this up by asking a couple questions. And it is, do you really think this story is just about young love like me, or do you think it holds some other deep message other than the passage of time? And do you think the narrator is more scared of the present or the future?